hello trophy hunters, I'm back with a new video vlog series called Moments of Digital Excellence. Hopefully you enjoy the name. And it's a new monthly series where I take you through the platinum trophies I've earned. Having several platinums at a time will create a healthy pool of trophies. You know, we're talking 50 per platinum maybe, and perhaps any 100% on top of that. So after we've looked at those games individually, I'll be giving out awards to these trophies, which are basically going to be, head to head for the different custom awards I've created. And this is very similar to the awards I give out at the end of my trophy list reviews. So if you enjoy that part of those, I think you will enjoy this video. That's my hope anyway. So I'll be doing these every month, but to kick things off, I'm starting retrospectively from earlier this year, at the start of the year. Since I only earned 3 platinums across January and February total, I've bundled them into this first episode, a bit of a trial, and then the following months will have more platinums. March I have, 3 or 4 for example. So we'll just go, we'll carry on from this one to go into the other months. And I've redesigned a few of those awards I've mentioned since the announcement video where I kind of showed off the first drafts of them. Some names have changed, the graphics have been updated, some got a bit of polish. And I think they're pretty much final now, but I'm always up for suggestions on name changes or icons. It'll be an ongoing thing, and maybe I'll add 1 or 2. Well, there's 9 in total, and you can see them on the screen there. In a row, and like I say, nothing's final, but I'm quite happy with them and how they look at least, and maybe we can think about the names. You'll see what they're all about when we get to the awards, so hopefully that makes more sense then. But yeah, that's enough talking, let's crack on. Please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy the format. I hope you enjoyed the video anyway, and let's kick off with the platinums for January and February of 2025. Street Fighter 6 was a real tone setter for the year. The guide over on PSN Profiles has it rated at 5 out of 10 difficulty, 1 playthrough and around 50 hours. A massive drop from Street Fighter V's infamous 10 out of 10 platinum. That puts Street Fighter 6 somewhere in the middle when it comes to fighting game difficulty platinums. Not impossible, but definitely a test of patience and persistence. The online portion of the game is where things get pretty heated, taking up most of the list. Capcom's focus on the Battle Hub means this list has more online trophies than most in the genre. You've got to play a variety of match types with your custom avatar, no less, which leads to some truly cursed creations. It is cool to run around with something you've created, however, especially in the really fantastic single player, which comes with its own set of DLC trophies for free. But whilst you're out there causing havoc in player matches, ranked and the Battle Hub, you'll be working towards Spirits of Encouragement. This is the game's big grind trophy, requiring you to send or receive 600 nice marks. You can do it manually by going through player profiles in your server one by one, or just keep playing and chip away at it naturally. The bulk of the list is very doable, that is until you hit the tournament trophies. These are time-gated events that you sign up to from a battle kiosk located in the Battle Hub. You'll need to enter 5 tournaments for 2 trophies, but more importantly, you've got to win some matches. Not a whole tournament, just the individual match. So even if you win a game, then go out the 2nd or 3rd round, that's still progress. But there's no doubt about it, this is real PvP, no AI to cheese, you've got to earn it. You'll be facing real people who also hate to lose, potentially even other trophy hunters. There is some good news though, there are rank restricted tournaments, so you can potentially fight others around your skill level. On the flip side of that, there are also open rank tournaments where anyone can enter, along with some character specific ones that become available. But yeah, this one made me sweat a little bit. Way easier than Street Fighter V's reaching Gold League trophy, but it will still need some character dedication and a battle plan for going into these matches to win. Don't get me started on trying to spectate an extreme battle, another trophy that I really struggled with. There's a couple of random little cabinets in the corner of the Battle Hub. Nobody ever uses them. I had to server hop time and time again, and I just got lucky in the end. It's a shame because the game mode that Extreme Battle presents is actually really fun. usually random modifiers or kind of mission-based gameplay. In the end though, this game exceeded my expectations. I knew I'd love it, it's Street Fighter after all, but the crisp mechanics, the deep gameplay, the character design and the music, it just feels like this is the Street Fighter 5 we could have and should have got. And now, with year 3 of DLC in full swing and the swimsuit costumes, the roster has never looked better. What a great way to start my year. Next up is Marvel Rivals, and as soon as this one dropped, I knew I wanted the Platinum. I dove straight in with that goal in mind. I'm pretty familiar with Overwatch and Rainbow Six and some other hero-like shooters, whether they're a bit more arcadey or realistic. I also love Marvel characters, and this game's unique spin on their designs really interested me from the get-go. And honestly, just spend a couple of minutes looking at any of these in the character select and you'll appreciate how hard these designs hit. I don't think Psylocke has ever looked so good. But then again, she might be announced in Fighting Souls Tokon, another very stylized take on the Marvel heroes we all know. But this is a 6v6 multiplayer hero shooter. Gameplay is quick and addictive, games are shorter than most in the genre, and overall the difficulty is quite approachable. But then again, when it comes to the trophies, PSN Profiles rates this at 7 out of 10 and around 40 hours. And yeah, that feels pretty spot on to be fair. Trophies are mostly character specific, think ultimates, abilities and situational KO setups. But keep in mind, the list is 100% online, so expect a heavy dose of luck and timing, along with countless failures until you find that right moment. Trophies as a whole are difficult. Having to spend time with each character until their trophy pops can be really frustrating, especially when the time comes to focus on the harder ones or having to use a character you don't enjoy. There are standouts, however, and they're mostly the DPS roles. Captain America's Justice for All buffs his armor and damage, and you'll have to go for 3 KOs during it. It feels like a mad dash for bodies as everyone runs away after hearing the very quotable voice lines. The amount of times I heard Bucky say again, especially when going for his trophy, was a hell of a lot. Wolverine's Rage Uncaged for getting 3 KOs took way longer than I expected. There is a main offender for me, the worst of the bunch, and that is Black Panther's trophy, King of the Dead, which is tame enough, asking for a 3 KO streak using his ultimate. The only problem is it has to be on the map Empire of Wakanda. If you miss your shot, you've got to wait for that specific map rotation again. Plus, he's a very cooldown, combo heavy character that you'll want some practice with using before feeling efficient enough for this trophy. That said, ultimates charge fairly often, so you'll be able to get multiple attempts each game. It'll just be frustrating when you don't get it and you've got to keep trying. If you've got a regular squad though, this platinum becomes way more approachable. And honestly, you might be having so much fun with the game itself that you forget you were even trophy hunting in the first place. I know I did, as it became our go-to for most evenings at its height. This might be one of those situations where the game is way more fun than the actual trophy hunting, but I'm really pleased I managed to stick with it for the platinum. And the last platinum for this 2-month stint is Monster Hunter Rise. I wanted to get this done before Monster Hunter Wilds launched, just to be up to date on my Monster Hunter Platinums. I have every single one now. The guide rates it at 5 out of 10 difficulty, but it clocks in at a mad 250 hours. I don't really time myself going for Monster Hunter Platinums. I tend to play that amount of time or more naturally, but at some point the trophies become the focus. And around the time Wilds was gearing up, it was time to focus on Rise. So I had already completed the story and gotten a lot of the easier misc trophies out of the way. All that was really left were the endemic life rare spawns, the crowns, and some other collectibles. You've probably heard me complain about the crowns before, but now I know it really does stretch out the gameplay. Wilds has the easiest crowns to obtain in the series, and I've played that the least out of them all. But yeah, monsters randomly spawn at different sizes, and you've got to collect crown entries for every single one. There's no measuring tools in the older games before Wilds, So you literally have to go by, how big is his leg against yourself, or find the right animation to make him very obviously large or really obviously small. It is total RNG hell, even if you adore Monster Hunter. There's pretty much no defending it. Then there's the lottery grind. After each quest, there's a chance to win special room decorations via an in-game lottery. You'll need several lottery-specific items to 100% the collection, awarding the sturdy padlock trophy, and waiting for that jackpot is pure pain. That is a chance within a chance that you'll get what you need. Plus, if you have the DLC, it bloats the prize pool for the things you do need for the platinum. But once it's done, relief. Massive big time relief. I do find it funny though that the final trophy I needed for the platinum wasn't some epic battle or one of those super grindy trophies. No, it was for cooking well done steak 30 times. And if that isn't a complaint about modern Monster Hunter, I don't really know what is. In the old games, we're talking PS2, PSP, 3DS. Well done steak was integral. Nowadays, quality of life has maybe gone too far in this series, but there's still the Sunbreak DLC calling my name. Overall, the platinum is everything you'd expect from Monster Hunter. Epic fights, massive grinds, gear upgrades, and yes, praying to the RNG gods. So, you've had your overview of the Platinums, now it's time for the Trophy Awards, the Mode Awards, Moments of Digital Excellence. And first up is the Icon of Sin, which is literally an award I give to my favourite looking trophy icon from this pool of Platinums that we've just looked at. I'll go in order of, the Platinums I earned, so Street Fighter was my very first of the year. And I really like these icons, every single one is an art of one of the characters, and it's really quite striking. And there's some added DLC, which is free, I might add, which just expands on that kind of motive of character art, and they're all in different positions, so I really like a lot of these. We'll move on to Marvel Rivals, and these aren't so great. I mean, they're all circular, which is fine. I like a uniform trophy list, but they don't feel very individual, do they? They get the job done. They're a certain shape and they're to do with the trophy name. My favourite here might be one of the gold ones, perhaps. Smart is the new Smash, which is a Hulk trophy. Here's a Big Fist, which is fine. And then you've got an Acorn one, those tiny claws, which is, just a nice gold for Squirrel Girl. That's a fun trophy to get as well. So we'll come back to those. And then my last platinum was Monster Hunter Rise. And this one, I don't super enjoy this art style for these awards, and they're all items, they're all literally items that you get. The trophy description is like the village elder giving you an item for achieving the award, which I kind of like. So there's one or two here that I like, and I think my favourite one here might be the deft hand rod, which is the fishing rod for catching all the different fish in the game. I do like a good fishing mini game. So I've gotten closer views of my favorite I've just listed there. So this is Hulk smashes the new Hulk or something. That's the Hulk trophy. It's pretty good close up. I like it better at that view. And then that's the deft hand rod one. That's the fishing trophy, which I quite like as well. And then for Street Fighter, I've got two icons up. We've got Jury, which is put your game face on. I'm pretty sure this was the first trophy I earned from Street Fighter 6. And then secondly, we've got a Kami one from the free DLC, which is practical training. I can't remember the requirement for that. Seeing this is just the icons, don't need the descriptions up too much. And I think my favourite out of these is literally, it's between the Street Fighter ones, and it's got to be the Kami one. I think that gets Icon of Sin. I think it's the best looking bit of art out of those three, so hopefully you agree with my choice. Trophy Name Generator, literally an award for my favourite trophy name. So kind of like the sister to the Icon of Sin, it's awarded to my favourite name trophy. We'll probably leave out Platinum trophies unless I really enjoy them, but for Street Fighter, it's a bit unique because all the trophy names are like the characters associated with the character's icon. So they have this really cool link with the character they're representing, and the trophies themselves aren't anything to do with the characters, it's just they have this cool link together. Steely Determination for Zangief really suits him, for example, and that's just for entering 5 tournaments, essentially nothing to do with Zangief. They've just made that cool link between them. And combat analysis for Cammy, you know, she's very tactical, very strategy focused, which I really like. Let the praise become your muscle from Zangief again. So yeah, I really like this that link there between the icon, the trophy name, and the characters. But there is one here in the DLC with my favourite trophy name for this game, and that is Hadouken. It's just what a stupid pun, but I love it, Hadouken. And the trophy is for taking up a part-time job in a single player, one of which is, I think, is serving donuts or something, so it's like food related. So yeah, I like a good pun, and I imagine a lot of the future awards for this will win because they're puns. The Marvel Rivals, again, a bit disappointing with the trophy names. I kind of like the Platinum being called the Collector because he's a cool Marvel character. You know, I think that's nice. Assemble, team up with a friend for a match. There's some clever ones here. They're pretty good. I've highlighted my favourite already, but maybe there's one or two more I liked. Spider Sense Tingling. You know, it's really safe. It feels a bit safe to me. My favourite then is, to me, my X-Men, as Storm assist X-Men members 10 times. I'm just a massive X-Men fan, so any reference to X-Men is a winner in my book. That one is for the Rivals. So the other candidate, I suppose, for Monster Hunter Rise. Again, I'm pretty disappointed with the trophy names for this game. They're all items. There is literally only one that isn't an item that I liked, that I was considering, and it's called From Palicos with Love, but I cannot for the life of me find the icon. There it is, quite a cute icon, and From Palicos with Love for raising various support type palicos to their maximum levels, which are your little cat companions, and I love cats for anyone who doesn't know. So out of those three, From Palicos with Love, and to me my X-Men, I think it's got to go to Hadouken because it's a stupid food pun, and that's the only reason it gets trophy name generator. Healing Time is next, and this award is basically for the trophy that took the most amount of time to get. Whether that's a grind or collectibles, or it's so skill based that the time to get it is massive. So there's a few reasons a trophy could get this award. There's not much more consideration from other games other than Monster Hunter for me, but Street Fighter 6 tournament trophy could be considered here. Perhaps Marvel Rivals, one of the DPS trophies. You know, these are like skill based, could take a long time because they're hard to get. But there's one set of trophies in the Monster Hunter list that is guaranteed to take a long time. And that are the Mini Crown Plaque and the Gold Crown Plaque, which of course are for measuring monsters individually and collecting every gold crown for your logbook. An insane amount of time, and is the only one that can get killing time. I Miss You is next, which is a really stupid award name, but it kind of made sense when I made it. So the idea behind this award is simply missables, or perhaps you could read into it more as a trophy that keeps getting away from you, whether that's from, you know, repeated tries, or it's too random to really consider easy to get. There's a few different trophies that could get this based on that different criteria. So again, the tournament for Street Fighter 6 might be considered here, something skill based that's a bit too difficult to get normally, but I think I want to give it to Sturdy Padlock from Monster Hunter Rise, which is of course the lottery based trophy where you have to collect every decoration and hanging scroll, most of which you can buy after defeating monsters in the game, but these specific sets are to do with the lottery. And when you do a quest, you come back and you have to play the lottery to hope a jackpot to then get the decoration you want. It is the most RNG based trophy I've encountered. I can't really think of another crazy chance based one, apart from one maybe literally based on poker or mahjong or something. But yeah, Sturdy Padlock definitely gets I Miss You. A welcome surprise, an award that I want to give to a trophy that literally surprised me the most, whether that's I earned it unexpectedly, or perhaps it was just so funny to earn and I enjoyed myself getting it. literally one that surprised me in a way where it left a positive impression on me. And there's only really one trophy that comes to mind. Most others I knew what I was in for, but there was one in Marvel Rivals, and I'm going to highlight it now. When I got it, I was just laughing out loud, like for real. Perilous Portal. As Doctor Strange land one terrain KO with the portal. And you may have seen clips online of Doctor Strange putting portals out of spawns and then people just jumping to their death. There's loads of ways to hilariously get this trophy, and I just wasn't expecting what I did to work, and I think I've got a clip of it, and if I've not shown it already, I will now. But it just really made me laugh and put a smile on my face. So yeah, a welcome surprise goes to Perilous Portal from Marvel Rivals. So the Weak Pathetic Fool award is my favourite boss or enemy encounter throughout these pool of platinums. Bit of a weird award because there could be a really good boss that doesn't award a trophy, but I'm not sure how I'll tackle that in the future. Luckily for me, my favourite encounter from these 3 games has a trophy, and that is from Monster Hunter Rise, Fan of True Ascendancy. You unlock this trophy for fighting the Apex, Mitsuzune, Zenogre and Rathalos, 3 of the hardest monsters in the whole game. There is a bit of a flip side to this in that if you have the DLC, a new rank of difficulty is unlocked, so this becomes somewhat negligible if you have the DLC because you've got master rank and then high rank below it and low rank below that. So this trophy is given for a quest that is the hardest in high rank. Still, I really enjoyed it, and a fight doesn't have to be difficult for me to love it. It's the music, it's the vibe of it, it's the atmosphere, and in this case, these monsters are some of the best in the whole game, and the quest and the fight itself really stuck with me. So yeah, this certainly gets Weak Pathetic Fool. Mode 47 approved. That's me, and I really approve of this award because I give this to the trophy that is, I feel that is the most skill based, and that's what I like. I like to be challenged. I'm not one of those people who purposely go out my way to find the hardest platinums. There's plenty of other YouTubers who do that and do it really well, but I appreciate a good challenge, and that's what this award is about. And for me, the biggest challenge out of all 3 of these games, and don't get me wrong, Monster Hunter Rise, full of challenge. Marvel Rivals, really difficult, especially the DPS trophies. But I feel like Street Fighter 6's Dominating Like a Ninja, the rarest trophy in this game, and for a lot of people will be the barrier to the platinum, because it's for winning 10 matches in a tournament. And as I explained earlier, tournaments are time gated, meaning they're several times a day. And one tournament will be any rank can join, so you'll be going up against people my rank or higher. And then another tournament might be locked to lower ranks, or they might be character specific. Either way, you have to win a match. So you could win one match, lose, that's one match towards a total of 10, and you'll have to wait another 4 hours before you join the next tournament, whatever requirements that might be. So I just think it's a really cool test of skill, and that's why Dominating Like a Ninja from Street Fighter 6 gets Mode 47 approved. So the Mariana Trench, which is, you know, the lowest point in the ocean. This represents the awards where the lowest point of the platinum journey hit me, and I've got a trophy for each game here, and then I'll decide what one was the worst, and maybe, you know, you can agree and write what you think. So from Street Fighter, for me, it was a trophy where you had to literally spectate an extreme battle. Here it is, combat analysis. I really like the icon here and the name, but the actual trophy for having to spectate an extreme battle took ages for me to find. I could not find a lobby where anyone was playing an extreme battle. I nearly had to find a way to boost this. That's how not very popular this game mode is. So yeah, that took absolutely ages. And from Rivals, I'm going to have to say it's any of the DPS trophies, which are going to be the rarer ones. So yeah, all of these, King of the Dead, Justice for All, Captain America's, Wolverine's took me ages, so I'm going to consider them in a second. And for Monster Hunter Rise, I think it's going to be Sturdy Lockpick, but then I'm sure there was another. I wrote a note somewhere. It's going to be, oh, of course, Rampage Nemesis. Rampage Nemesis. So there's not a very popular mode in this game as well, in Monster Hunter, called Rampage, where you base defense against hordes of monsters, but they don't have the health pool a normal big monster would have. You kind of repel them with turrets and stuff, and it just feels a bit cobbled together. And for this trophy, you have to do 50 of them, which is a hell of a lot, because it doesn't matter how powerful you are or how overpowered you are, even using the DLC Sunbreak, where you've got master rank gear, doing the high rank rampages takes ages, so I did not enjoy that for the platinum at all. Out of those 3 experiences, I think Marvel Rivals was the worst, but only because the trophy was so difficult for me to get, and it was King of the Dead as Black Panther land a 3-player KO streak in the Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda map. The only reason this is terrible, it's not necessarily the 3-player KO, it's that you can only do it on that specific map, which means when they release more maps, that pool of maps and the rotation gets smaller. It's rarer to see that map. And then someone else might be Black Panther, which means you can't get the trophy if you're not that character. On top of all that, once you actually get your ult, you've got to be in a good lucky situation, or good enough to read the situation to get your 3-player KO. A very difficult trophy that I spent far too long on, and once I got it, it was a massive relief. But yeah, this King of the Dead from Marvel Rivals, that gets Mariana Trench for me. So the last award I have for you is Platinum of the Month. So we're only looking at the Platinums and the overall experience of me earning them and what my favourite is. And I loved Monster Hunter Rise, but I only really got it out of the way so I could focus on Monster Hunter Wilds. It was very good, and I'm glad I got it, but the crowns, again, were a terrible experience, along with the rampages I mentioned earlier and everything else. Marvel Rivals was more of a game I really enjoyed with friends, that I got the Platinum on the way. A lot of people will play a game just for the Platinum. I played that game because it was, popular, and me and my friends enjoyed it every night for, a month or 2. It was a really good, fun multiplayer. That I just happened to focus on the multiplayer after we kind of stopped playing it, focused on the trophies even. So the winner really is Street Fighter 6's Platinum Trophy, which is called A Quest for Strength Fulfilled. Won't surprise anyone that a fighting game won my favourite Platinum of the month, but it really is a good fighting game. It's not just because it's a fighting game, it's an excellent Street Fighter and one of my favourite fighting games of all time, but I've poured time into. It is very, very good. And it doesn't have the problems that Tekken 8 is facing at the moment. It doesn't have any lack of content like Street Fighter 5 faced at launch. It just launched in a very good state, and the trophies were fun to get, especially with it all accumulating into that dominating like a ninja trophy for the tournament wins. It's not as bad as Gold League from Street Fighter 5, which I mentioned earlier, but it's a really cool follow-up, and I really enjoyed it. So I would recommend anyone, maybe at an intermediate level of fighting game platinums, with Tekken 8 being the easiest, Mortal Kombat 10 being maybe harder than this. This is a good kind of skill-based one in the middle somewhere. So yeah, this certainly gets Platinum of the Month. And that's a wrap, Trophy Hunters. I hope you enjoyed this new format, but I haven't really delved into, a vlog where I look at my own trophies, but then give the spin of my custom awards at the end, just like the trophy list reviews, which I'm still going to work on, of course. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. It gives me a nice video kind of series to focus on month by month. So next, of course, is March, and I can tell you a sneak peek that I've got 4 Platinums in March. And there's a good variety of genres, so expect a nice pool of trophies to choose from. And of course, let me know what you think of the awards, and maybe the names or the icons or any other ideas you might have. I want to keep it at like 9 or 10. Firstly, they fit really nicely there and they look cool with all the icons. But secondly, any more than 10, and I could spend 3 or 4 minutes on each award, and suddenly you're looking at maybe an hour video of all the other stuff. But yeah, maybe the length of video is not a massive problem. Anyway, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Other than that, I'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye for now.